last week's Zoom on my computer. I still haven't done that yet, so I promise I'll get to that. Hopefully these are going there because it says it's going to the cloud, and your girl is not the most technology savvy. Can everybody hear me? Yes, yes. Okay. So I took a few notes. I wanted to go over a couple of things. Some of it's stuff that we've touched on before, but it's like it keeps coming up, and so I feel like we need to revisit it. And it's something that I don't feel like you can talk about too much. Um, and I'm actually going to give you a story that I was talking to a sideline sister, not on our immediate team, but in our larger team. And I was talking to her. Wow, I shouldn't eat that Slim Jim. I was talking to her the other day, and we have connected for a while, and I'm not like trying to like spill her tea at all, but I want to tell you what we were kind of talking about a little bit, because these are things that I have felt. These are things that you guys have felt. These are things that we have talked about already multiple times. And so if I can touch base on it a little bit tonight and give you maybe a little bit different perspective on it, maybe it can kind of help you over that hump if you're feeling like you have a hump in your business right now. And we have connected. She joined August. She just told me the other day, August is 3 years. So it's now August. So she's been here 3 years with this business. I joined June 2018. So a little bit over 3 years. So I'm just like 2 months ahead of her as far as like clicking that promoter button. She still has not gone 4K. And her upline, I don't think is still in the business. I'm not sure. And so we have connected for a while, and we kind of ping pong things off each other from time to time. And she comes to me a lot for growth, for advice, for, hey, what would you do if, wow, oh, I have 20, y'all. I got 20% battery. We're doing better than I thought. But she comes to me a lot, and she's like, hey, what would you do if, or what would you do in this circumstance? Or what do you think? What should I say? And I welcome that. And I will tell you, if anybody comes to you with questions, concerns, what would you do if, I don't care if they're your potential. I don't care if they never join you. I don't care if they have joined with somebody else. I urge you to welcome that, because it's a place where you're going to grow as a leader. It's a place where you're going to learn to grow in giving somebody else guidance, and actually getting that ticker thinking of like, okay, what would I do if this happened? Or how can I help this person, even if it's not necessarily going to help my bank account? Does that make sense? Like, always welcome that, I will say. But I wrote down some of the things. I was listening back to her voice memos that she sent me, and I wrote down some of the keywords that she was saying, and I looked at them and I was like, wow, I've said probably all of these, and you guys have probably been in the same boat. So we're going to go over them a little bit today. Number one, she said, I'm doing everything. I'm already doing everything. I've been here X amount of time. I'm already doing everything. I'm not getting product credit. All of my auto ship customers turn their auto ship off. I only have one promoter that actually gets it. I don't know how to lead a Zoom. I'm the only one doing anything. I'm the only one working. I don't know how to be a leader. I'm just stuck, is what she left me with. And she said, I know that we don't want to say this like that we're stuck, but like, I'm seriously stuck. And looking back on this, I'm looking at it, and the first thing that popped into my mind, and I guided her through it a little bit, ended up being a great conversation where she was like, wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear, is I said, all of that is negative. All of that is, I can't, it's all lack mindset. And there's a fine line, especially when you've been in this business for 3 years, like we have, and we feel like we should be so much further. Maybe you've been here a year, maybe you've been here 6 months, maybe whatever your timeline is. Maybe you felt this before and you're like, well, I just feel like I should be further along by now, but I'm not. There's a fine line between giving yourself grace to learn something new, to grow as a leader, to expand your mindset, to become this next version of the person that you need to be able to actually lead a team and build a business online. There's a fine line between giving yourself grace and giving yourself excuses. And so every single one of those things that I wrote down on my paper when I was listening to those voice memos, like excuse, excuse, excuse. My customers are turning off their auto ship. I only have one promoter that gets it. I'm not earning free product credit. These are all excuses. And at the end of the day, I'm going to give you some tough love, is that's all on us. If you feel any of those things, that's on us. That's on you. If you're not earning your free product credit, why aren't you earning your free product credit? Right? If you feel like you have one promoter that you've signed up and they're not doing anything, I'm sorry. You cannot make somebody want to make money with you. You're not going to be able to go to their house and put their shoes on and say, get up, let's go. We got money to make. Not everybody is going to want this as much as you do. And you have to check yourself a little bit and say, okay, am I giving myself grace or am I giving myself excuses? And stop lying to yourself, bottom line, because I used to be there. I used to say the same thing. All of these things I've said, all of these things I've felt. And I told her, I said, this is a very, I don't want to say bad, but I was like, this is a very hard place to be. And the key tip here is you got to fight like hell to get out of this place as soon as you can, because it is not safe. You got to get out of there. Like, mayday, mayday, right? Like, get out of that place as soon as you can. But what you need to understand is it's your responsibility as a business owner, as the leader that you don't even see yourself as yet. It's your responsibility to get yourself out of there. And I told her, I said, all of this right here is not a matter of skill set. It's a matter of mindset, right? It's a matter of the fact that just from all those things you told me, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you're a leader. You don't believe that you can lead a Zoom. You don't believe that you can earn free product credit. You don't believe that you can create customer retention, right? These are all self-limiting beliefs, and it's something that we all have to check ourselves on from time to time. But I told her, I said, it's hard for us to see that in ourselves. And so I'm being honest and open with you that this is what I see. I see that you don't believe in yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that's coming across in your post. Maybe that's coming across in your live videos, in your face-to-face on your stories, in your opportunity stories, in all the things that you're doing. You're not portraying that confidence. You're not portraying that belief in yourself. And how can anybody else believe that you're going to be able to help them get to where they want to be if you don't believe in yourself first? And maybe they're feeling that. And so when you have these moments where you feel like you're doing all the things, or your customers are falling off, or you sign a promoter and you never hear from them again, you need to know that you're not doing anything wrong. Okay. And I'm going to give you an analogy that I thought was it makes sense to me. Okay. I have little kids. Finding Nemo. Anybody seen Finding Nemo? Where they're going through the Australian current and the turtle is telling them, like, stay ahead of the drop off, right? He's like, stay ahead of the drop off, right? What does that mean? That means if you don't stay ahead of the drop off, you're going to get caught in it and you're going to be gone, right? So with this business, as a leader in this business, okay, I'm going to drill this into our brains. Every single one of us is a leader, but you have to stay ahead of the drop off. Okay. There will always be people who quit on you. There will always be people who quit on themselves. And so if you are clinging to the one promoter, two promoter, three promoter, however many people you have in your downline, if you're clinging to them with a death grip and wondering, why aren't they working? Why don't they want this? I don't understand. How can I get them to do this, or this? You got to let go. You got to stop holding a death grip to the person who doesn't want it as bad as you do. And you have to always stay ahead of the drop off in changing that next life. Okay. When people come in, when you guys come in, right? I'm running you through your VIPs. We're talking about your goals. We're giving you step by step on what you do in your first couple days. We match your energy, right? If you don't come to us with questions, I can't read your mind. If you don't come to me, I don't know what you don't know, right? And I had to stop babysitting people in my leadership growth. And instead of saying like, okay, well, have you done this yet? Or have you done that yet? It had to come from a place of, if she doesn't have questions, I don't know what she doesn't know. Right. And maybe she's just not as hungry as me. And so maybe I need to stay ahead of the drop off. And maybe she will come around. And maybe she needs to go at her own pace, and she needs grace, and she needs space, and all these things. And maybe she's overwhelmed. It's my job as a leader to let her know, hey, if you're overwhelmed, like, you got to let me know. If you need something, you need to let me know. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to come put your shoes on. Right. And so what you'll find is it's really easy for us to just like hold really tight to them and to just be like, okay, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. But if they don't want it as bad as you do, and you're putting all your heart and your soul and your energy and everything into trying to get them to believe in themselves and believe in this business, and you've wasted all that energy, and tomorrow they're gone, you could have spent that much more energy spitting some fire into your stories, or talking to that next potential, or making that next connection, or making that next friend on social media. It doesn't mean that you don't care about your new promoter. It doesn't mean that you don't care about their goals or what they said they wanted this business for. But you have to always stay forward focused, because like I said, there will always be somebody who's ready to quit on you. There will always be somebody who's ready to quit on themselves. Probably 1 in 10, I think, is what I was reading in that book called, it's like the 4-year career or something. I think it's like 1 in 10 people that sign up in a network marketing business actually do something with it. And I'd probably say 3 years in this business, 1 out of 10 people that come in will hit their VIPs. Right. But it doesn't mean anything as a reflection on you as a leader. You will grow. Every person you enroll, you get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. But the difference between the person who hits their VIPs and the person that doesn't hit their VIPs is this person saw what they wanted and they made it happen, and this person didn't go get it. Does that make sense? You have to be hungry in this business for what you want. And it's not our responsibility as a leader to make somebody hungry. I will tell you, when I came in this business 3 years ago, I never hit my VIPs. I can sit here and say that my upline wasn't supportive. I can sit here and say that I didn't have guide videos on the team page. I can say that our team page was brand spanking new. I can give all these excuses. But the reality is, I wasn't hungry enough for it. I wasn't willing to get uncomfortable enough to ask for help in my VIPs, to ask my family if they would support me. I wasn't comfortable enough to actually start posting the way that I needed to post, or to go live yet. I wasn't ready for that because I wasn't hungry enough for it yet. But I'll tell you, there's going to be a moment where something just clicks in your brain, and you're not going to be able to explain it. But you're going to look back on it and you're going to be like, I don't know what it was, but something just clicked and I was ready. That's what happened when I went 4K. That's what happened when we all collectively went 12K. It's that mindset. It's not the skill set. It's not all the things that you think that you're doing. And I want to break it down a little bit for you tonight. I wrote down a couple of things. It's starting to get dark. But I wrote down, when it comes to achieving a goal, remember how I said like growth and goals go hand in hand, like they're never separate. They always go hand in hand. And part of knowing where you're going or the goal that you're setting is knowing where you're standing right now, if that makes sense. So let's say I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, I need to know what my current weight is, correct? How else am I ever going to know if I've lost 10 pounds? Just by winging it, just by looking and see if my pants fit better. You have to be strategic, and you have to get real with yourself on where you currently are. So I want to break this down with you a little bit. And I want you to put, like, if you have a piece of paper or anything, like, put some bullets down. Not something I want you to put in the chat right now. We're not going to be comparing ourselves to one another, but I want you at some point, put it in your notes, put it on paper. I want you to physically put your eyeballs on it and look at it. And I don't want you to attach your worth to it. Okay. I will start by saying that, but I want you to look at July, at what you did for July. So the first bullet is going to be samples. How many samples did you get out in July? If you're brand new, like, take a mental note for August. Okay. But if you've been here, how many samples did you get out in July? That's your homework. You need to figure that out. You need to look at that number, because this month you got to be better than that month. This has to always be your mindset so that you are always staying ahead of the drop off. There will always be a customer who can't afford it this month. There will always be a customer who thinks it doesn't work. There will always be a promoter who, I don't know, like, life happens and they're just, it's not important to them anymore, even though they told you otherwise. Okay, so how many samples did you sell last month? The second bullet is customers. How many brand new customers did you bring in last month? The third one is promoters. How many brand new promoters did you bring in last month? And if you look at your patterns from July to June to May, back it up. Have you been consistent? Have you been growing? Have you been declining in the amount of enrollments? And it's not all about enrollments, but when you're reaching for a goal like 4K or 12K, those things matter, because guess what? Every single day we're following our tracker. Our tracker is laid out as a roadmap to show us where we're at and how much further we got to go. Okay. And so the last three bullets, I want you to look at your QV. This is what I say to you guys at the end of the month, screenshot that tracker. I have so many screenshots of trackers at the end of the month, because, and I don't care if in that moment, if I'm screenshotting it, if I'm proud of it, or if I'm not proud of it, I'm still screenshotting it. If I knew I could have done better, or if I'm hella proud, I'm screenshotting it so that I can take a mental note and I can say, okay, this is who I'm trying to beat for next month. This is who I'm trying to beat. And if you don't know what QV is your overall volume. Okay. So that's everybody's ordering. Okay. So that's your customers. That's, if you have a downline, it's their orders, it's their customers, it's your personal orders. It's every dollar sale that goes through your account. Okay. That's your QV. The second circle in your tracker is PPAQV. And if you don't know what PPAQV, that is your brand new customers. Okay. It when you fill that circle out, it all goes up into the QV, but that little circle is your brand new customers. Okay. Bonus season aside, anybody know what the normal QV requirement is for this business to be able to earn a paycheck on Tuesday? Does anybody know that? $100. Yes, Kelly. $100. So that could be me coming in, and let's say we're fresh for September. I could personally order $100 in product and I would be qualified for a paycheck. Okay. Or I could use $100 of my product credit. That qualifies me for my paycheck. Or I could sign up at least $100 in brand new customers, and that qualifies me for a paycheck. Does that make sense? The company makes it super simple for you because you've got so many ways that you can achieve that PPAQV. But if you're looking at your tracker right now, because it's bonus season, you'll notice that that's not 100. That's 400. That's 400 that we are all supposed to be bringing in to be able to fill that tracker up, to be able to be qualified, active, and eligible for that bonus. And so if you look back on your last couple of months and you look at your little, dot that we just put on, we put how many customers did I sign up over the last 2 or 3 months, and it's been 1 or it's been 0. It's okay. Nobody's beating you down, but you have to know where you're at to be able to know where you're going. Okay. And so that tells you if you've been signing 1 or none, we got a lot of work to do, sis. We got to start talking about our product story, because this is your customers. This is not your promoters' enrollments. This is your brand new customers. So we talk about the products that we like. We talk about why we like them. Maybe you go outside your 3 steps and you talk about a plus line product that you love. Maybe you love rest. Maybe you love chill. Maybe you love, I don't know, sculpt. It could be anything. But this is where you got to dive a little bit deeper into your product story, why you like the products, what makes it so simple. Talk about the fact that we don't have any mandatory auto ships here, so they literally get to do like a little test drive of the products and see how their body feels on 30 days. I love using that because most network marketing companies force you into an auto ship. Do you guys know that? Most of them do. And if it's not an auto ship, it's a flex ship, which means you can move it, but eventually you're going to have to order. Okay. We don't do that here. We let our customers order when they want to order. Okay. And so I want you to write down, what is your PPAQV? What does that look like for July? If you have no idea, guess what we're doing at the end of the month in August? We're screenshotting our trackers. Okay. The last one is, I want to talk about that real quick though, because that 400 PPAQV that you have to fill out for bonus season to be able to be eligible for your bonus. Guess what? For the whole 8 to 10 months that you are re-ranking and re-qualifying for your bonus, you still got to do that 400. It doesn't go back to 100. Okay. And so especially if you already have an account that has ranked up and you're trying to rank on maybe a husband account, okay, or a family account, then you've got 800 in PPAQV. And so what I want you to realize is that you're capable of doing that. You're capable of bringing in 400 PPAQV. And you can't let that number scare you. And you got to be prepared. If you're ready for that 4K bonus, if you're ready for that payout, if you're ready for that blessing, if you're ready for that anointing, you be prepared to catch the ball. You be prepared to keep up the pace so that you're not tripping and falling on your face in the middle of the race. Does that make sense? You have to be prepared for what's coming, because once you up level, once you get to that 4K rank, you're not done, right? You sign up your 2 auto ship customers for the month. Are you done? No. You sign up 1 promoter for the month. Are we done? No. You hit 4K. Are you done? Is that where you're going to tap out and say, okay, Lavelle, like I'm done? I gave it my all? No. Everybody wants to go to the top of the company, right? Who's got Lavelle Millionaire on their board? Right? Be prepared for the success that's coming. Be prepared to carry it. Right? And be prepared to teach somebody else how to hold it, is what I'm saying. And the last circle that you're going to see is your is your active legs. What that means is that's your personally sponsored promoters actively working underneath you, which means they're qualified and active with their PPA QV that they have, bonus season aside, that they have ordered $100 in product or used their credits for it or assigned a customer and gotten to that 100. Does that make sense? Am I confusing anybody? I hope not. But if I'm confusing you, just let me know. I'll try to explain it a little bit better. But I want you to kind of get real with yourself and look at where you have been and look at where you're trying to go and be realistic. I had to do that with myself. I had to say, okay, Amber, like, we got to step it up. We got to step it up on the live videos. We got to step it up on the enrollments. We got to step it up and do face-to-face on your stories. And now it's going to be every single day. And then I got into doing reels and okay, I'm going to do reels every single day. And I had to start proving to myself that I could do it. What was I going to say? We already talked about staying ahead of the drop off. And so the question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, where have I been? Where am I trying to go? And how am I going to move differently? You know how we say, like, if you want different, you got to move different. How am I going to move differently? Because doing the exact same thing you've been doing, your exact same IPA list, maybe that needs to change up a little bit. From time to time, maybe it needs to change up a little bit. Maybe you need to, like, for this month, I told myself, I said, I'm going to do 2 live videos a week instead of 1. I know that doesn't sound like much to some of you guys, but to me it is, because 1 live video a week was a lot for me. And so I said, I'm going to do 2 live videos a week. And this week I'm going to do my own opportunity event, right? Something that makes me super uncomfortable. I'm still super uncomfortable doing opportunity events. I'll tell you. Sometimes I'm still super nervous to go live. I'm super nervous to lead these trainings on Mondays. But those are areas that I know I need to grow, because if I ever want to be a 40K leader, I have to be capable of being a 40K leader, right? I got to be a little bit better. I got to be a little bit different. I got to move different, right? I acknowledge that. I take responsibility for that. Does that make sense? Let's see. So we talked about the people that hit their VIPs and people that don't. I put on here, I think I said it a little bit differently before, but it's like this person wanted it and this person didn't go get it. Like, they chose not to go get it. They both have access to all of our resources, right? They're both selling the same product. So how are they different? It's not the resources that they have. It's not the products that they have. It's the mindset that they have behind what their capabilities are and what this business can do for them and for their families. I wrote down, you'd be surprised how many times I wrote down stay ahead of the drop off, but you are responsible to your team at the end of the day. If you have a team right now, you're responsible to your team. You're not responsible for your team. You're not responsible for the actions that they take or the actions that they don't take. You're not responsible for their results. You're not responsible for them going VIP 800, as much as you'd love to take credit for that and say, like, I'm a great leader, I helped you go VIP 800. Yeah, you maybe helped them go VIP 800, but that's not you didn't do that. They believed that they could do that, and you helped them see that. It's a team effort. Same thing as if somebody doesn't go VIP 800, that doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad leader. It doesn't mean that you can't help somebody do it, because you can help the right person do it. The person who's hungry, the person who wants it enough, the person who is actually willing to take a risk and take a bet on themselves and change their life. And if somebody doesn't want to do that, if somebody says one thing and shows you another, it's okay. That's unfortunately part of life. And that just teaches you that they're not ready. and you have to love them from a distance and be ready for them when they're ready. Helping others with their VIPs is amazing to see. It is amazing. I put on here, our company has our back, and if you stay ready to catch the pass, they will throw you the ball. And if you don't believe that, maybe you haven't been here long enough, but this company is not just about rank advancement bonuses. It's about, we have so many promos and things that we run for our customers, and like triple fast starts and paid as a 200K. And we have all these things. I've seen one time where they did a re-VIP. I still didn't get it because I still wasn't hungry enough. 10% battery. Sorry, you guys, we already did blow through 10%. But what I want to say to you is that growth and goals go together. So we talked about that, talked about getting real with yourself and where you're at and where you're going and how you're going to move different, and what is going to be that one thing that just like changes for you maybe this month. We don't have time to waste. If you seriously need that $4,000 in your bank account, we don't have time to waste. But you also, I don't want to lead somebody into a rank that doesn't believe that they can keep up that rank, that doesn't believe that they are capable of maintaining that rank, because that's the hard work in this business. The hard work is not putting up a post and going live and showing up on social media. That's not the hard work that we do. The hard work is the heart work that we do. It's the believing in ourselves. It's the telling ourselves that we're worthy. And so what I told our sideline sister, I was like, all of this is negative. You got to cut that out, and you got to replace that with some positive things. Because even though you haven't led a Zoom, sis, listen, I've hopped on Zoom with my team, never showed up. And so there's Zooms on my YouTube page that it's literally just me talking to a camera, because, and that was a really hard moment for me, because here I am wanting to step into leadership, right? Nobody else wanted it. I was the only one working at that time, right? It's all these negative mindsets that I had, but I showed up anyways. I recorded it for them anyways. They're on my YouTube anyways, right? That's the growth that you need to get to the goal that you want. It's being willing to be uncomfortable. It's being willing to do the thing that maybe you haven't done yet. Maybe you haven't believed yet. And I told her, I said, you know, you need to wake up tomorrow and you need to start telling yourself, I am a leader. I am worthy of leading a 4K team. I am capable. I am strong. I am resilient. I am meant to be here. I am proud of the work that I do. I am confident in myself and my abilities as a leader. I didn't used to talk like this to myself, but I do it every single day now. Because otherwise somebody else is going to get in my head, and I'm going to start doubting myself, and I'm going to start questioning, and I'm going to start feeling like maybe I'm not capable, and maybe I'm not worthy, and what am I doing, and what about my coworkers, what are they going to think, and everybody thinks this is silly and nobody gets it, and maybe I'm crazy, right? It's all these things that go into our minds. You got to take control of that first thing in the morning. Don't save your self-development for nighttime. Don't do it. You need to go forth in your day doing self-development. I don't care if it means that you're waking up early. I don't care if it means that you're waking up before the kiddos. It makes a difference in how you show up in your life. It makes a difference in how you show up in your marriage. When your husband's starting to say negative things and you're like, hold up, like, no, it's not that bad. You need to think about the positive. Like, I've been known so many times to turn Sean around and be like, I'm not talking to you right now with negative Nancy. Like, seriously, it makes a huge difference in your day. So start your day tomorrow telling yourself that you are worthy of leading a 4K team, of leading a 12K team, of enrolling that first promoter, of changing that next life, of earning your free product credit, I hope this makes sense. I hope this clicks with you, because it took a long time for it to click with me. And that is my goal, so that you guys don't have to sit there in that rut, in that stuck, in that negative space as long as I sat there. Nobody wants to be there. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. I hopefully this recorded.